Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about how to successfully have a backyard wedding. A lot of people are moving in this direction due to COVID and the uncertainties of everything. Um, so I figured I would touch on that and how to successfully do it. I've seen a lot of backyard weddings, and thankfully, most of the ones that I have photographed have gone really well, but there are things that you have to think about, so I just wanted to point those out to you guys. So the first thing is consider your space. So um, don't have too many people for the area that you're having your wedding. If you have a smaller backyard, then make sure you invite the appropriate amount of people for that space. I know that kind of seems like common sense, but a lot of people, because they're having a backyard wedding, they figure we can just invite anybody because we don't have to worry about paying for a certain number of plates and things like that. But it is really important to make sure that you don't have too many people for a small space. Another thing to consider with talking about space is where people are going to park. A lot of times, weddings don't necessarily think about this, or especially backyard weddings. There's only so much space for parking, especially if you're in a neighborhood or things like that. So make sure that you talk to your neighbors and let them know, probably 2 to 3 months in advance at least, that hey, you're having your wedding in your backyard on this date, just so you know there are going to be a lot of people. If you are good friends with your neighbors, check in with them to see if people can park in their driveway or their yard, depending on where your wedding is, whether it's in a neighborhood or things like that. So just keep that in mind. Another thing to take into consideration is restrooms. I know this seems kind of odd, but a lot of weddings, or people don't want as many people in their house as possible during these backyard weddings, which is totally understandable. There's a lot going on in there. You don't want to have to worry about anything. But just keep in mind restrooms, because a lot of times, if there's only one restroom available inside, that's not really enough for 100 people. If you have enough space, renting a restroom trailer is a really good idea. I've seen it done at a few weddings, and it works out really well, and it's a lot easier than people coming in and going through your house and finding the restroom, especially if they've never been to your house before and they don't know where it's at. It's just a lot easier for everybody. My next tip is to make sure that you prepare for unforeseen circumstances. So if you are having your wedding in your backyard, I highly recommend having tents no matter what. This way, in case it does rain, you don't have to scramble to find a solution, or have everybody come in your house, because more than likely you're not going to have enough room in your house for everybody who's invited to your wedding, especially if you're doing a larger backyard wedding. So I would highly recommend making sure you have tents, and having multiple tents. If you can, don't have much outside from under the tent, just because if it does rain, then you have to rearrange things and move things to make room for bringing things inside. My next tip is think about logistics. Again, that goes with the restroom parking cars, things like that. And also like food. Make sure that you have enough for everybody, and have enough plates and napkins, and silverware for everybody. My recommendation would be probably like 1.5 times, if not two, of the amount of guests for plates and silverware, because a lot of people will throw away a plate and then go back for dessert and expect a different plate. So make sure you think about those things. One of the biggest benefits to doing a backyard wedding is that it's more relaxing the day of, but you can still have all of the formal things like a traditional wedding, like having your DJ and having all of these first dances and speeches and things like that. I highly recommend, if you are doing a backyard wedding, still hire a DJ. Your DJ helps run your reception very smoothly, and also it'll encourages people to get up and dance and have fun. So definitely make sure you still have those elements of a traditional wedding, but you can still have a lot of like more relaxed things like cornhole and Jenga and different things like that, because it is a backyard space. So those are just my tips on having a successful backyard wedding, since I know a lot of people are headed in that direction. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.